Good up.
This is channel 253. Beep, boop, boop.
On this episode of the Grit and Grain podcast.
I just want people to feel like if they're following me and they're watching what I'm drinking, I do believe in what I'm drinking. Mm-hmm. And there are way less breweries that I am like even willing to get beer from, like that I've just had too many beers that I've like poured out. And even if there's nothing wrong with the beer, but it's just not that flavorful, or it's under attenuated, or it's just any of the. I'm like, I don't want to waste it.
Did you know Channel 253 is member supported? I'm producer Doug Mackey, and I hope you will show your support by going to channel253.com/membership and join. Thank you.
Welcome to the Grit and Grain podcast, where we explore and celebrate the craft beer industry, community, and history in Tacoma, Washington, and surrounding Pacific Northwest areas. Thank you so much for hanging out. Let's get to it. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Grit and Grain podcast, coming to you guys from the historic Parkway Tavern in Tacoma, Washington. Woo! Yeah. My name is Matt McLaren, here, of course, with Ron Swarner.
Hello. I woke up this morning with hope in my heart and new followers in my notifications.
New followers. Okay, got it. So it was a good week.
It was a good week.
Good.
And appropriate for today.
Awesome. Hopefully that's because of the live show that we did at Brew 53.
Yeah.
Sean Jackson, what's up, buddy?
Hello, how are you?
Pretty good. How you doing?
I also woke up with hope in my heart and still didn't know what notifications were. So I'm doing fucking awesome.
Thank you guys for hanging out. As always, if you're free on a Wednesday afternoon, come to the Parkway Tavern and hang out in the Red Room while we record. It's tons of fun, and you can hang out and talk to some of these guys in person and hang out for a beer afterwards, and it's awesome. So yeah, we're kind of back in from, a weird week off where we did a live show, but this is a really good one, and I'm excited for this, actually. This person actually has contributed quite a bit to a realm of the beer world that I don't think a ton of people consider to be quite as valuable as it actually is, and certainly will be in the future. So we're going to talk about all that. But our guest today is Rachyl, made most popular probably by your social media, Beers and Bedtime.
Hello.
How's it going?
Thanks for inviting me. I'm excited to be here.
We're super pumped to have you. And yeah, this is a talk that I'm like, and you and I talked a little bit about it, and it's like, I don't know. I think there's a ton that a lot of beer businesses might miss about social media. And so I'm like super pumped that you're down to hang out and talk about it.
Absolutely. It is an important piece.
Before we get into stuff, though, what are you drinking? Or Sean might know.
It's the whole...
Yeah, Holy Mountain Awake Limbs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also drinking that.
I'm also drinking that.
Excellent choices.
Producer Doug is also drinking that.
Fuck.
What about you, Matt?
I'm not drinking that. I'm drinking a Lumberbeard flavor nuggets.
Which of these kids is doing his own thing? One of these kids is
It's the only one I can expense.
Hey, Sean.
Yo.
Are you optimistic about this weekend?
I am so optimistic.
What's happening?
This is our something or other annual IPA fest on Saturday.
Oh, nice.
Yes. And, it should be a pretty damn good list. Beer garden, music, but I'm really excited. We're going to try to throw down on some tacos.
Oh, all right.
Something that's been in our food heart for an event for a long time, and we're going to do it.
Nice.
Maybe only once. About to find out, though.
We'll find out.
And, I love the anticipation of, possibly a horrible fucking train wreck. It just makes me better.
It's just more exciting.
Like, it's exciting. Like, I'm terrified.
It's a shell game.
Fucking love being terrified. Yeah. It's great.
It's good. Push the limits.
Yeah.
Tacos and beer. Great.
It should be a winning combo, right?
Yeah.
Tacos and IPA.
Yeah.
It's not a bad
But
thing.
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Ran out of food at 4:00, and
I think a lot of us will be here to drink all the hoppy beer
for sure.
before Fresh Hop Armageddon starts next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the one thing I was thinking. I was like, I can't wait till Sunday. Like, I can rest and then ease into September. And it was like, start getting the Fresh Hop emails. Like, oh, that's right. Fuck.
A couple weeks. A couple weeks of downtime. Yeah.
Hey, Rachel, do you still homebrew?
I haven't homebrewed in probably the last year. I still have all my equipment. I've been home brewing maybe once a year with some Browns Point homebrew friends. But yeah, that's been about it. Yeah, unfortunately.
Man, it's been a while for me too, actually, now that you say that. I was
Has
just
it?
thinking, like, when's
Yeah.
the last time I've homebrewed? It's been a minute. And I also, like, only see the Browns Point people when they're here on Wednesdays, which I love and appreciate your guys' support.
For sure.
So, yeah, can you tell people what you do online?
What I do online for my own account for Beers
Yeah.
and Bedtime stuff. Well, I guess I started Beers and Bedtime because I was homebrewing. I had started I got a homebrew kit for Christmas, and started brewing, and was super excited about it. And I knew I was going to spam a lot on my own social media to family and friends that don't care about
Don't
beer.
give a shit, yeah.
And so I was like,
I am not that considerate at all.
I did that, and then at the same time, I was doing a road trip down to San Francisco, and the plan was to hit like a ton of breweries on the way down and on the way back. And so I was like, well, I want to document that and document my home brewing. So I need let's find a platform to do that. And so I started my Instagram with that, and I think that I was surprised that it kind of kicked off quickly. I think it's a little bit harder to kick off now. If I had started that now, I think it would be a different world on Instagram, but I think it was the right time. I think that I think it was slightly unique because there was less women that were posting up about beer, and even more so specifically about brewing. And I just really fell in love with the super supportive community on there. And that was, I was hooked after that. And I got to talk to people and talk about beer trends all over the world.
That's
there was
awesome.
people in England and people in Sweden and people in Germany and stuff that I was talking with on a regular basis, and getting beer packages from different areas in the U.S. and seeing like, this is the beer profile that they have. Like, this is what their IPAs are tasting like, and these are the types of hops that they are using, as opposed to West Coast or East Coast. And I think that all of that was just to be so connected and kind of plugged into a bigger side of the community was really kind of like fueled me.
That's great nerd fuel.
And it continues to be. It's just it's evolved a bit now.
Do you have people mailing you beer? Because you drink well on your Instagram.
Well. 99% of what I drink is from my own. That's like
Your stash?
That's my own stash. I very much enjoy doing my like beer shopping, and that's my like reward or treat or whatever at the end of the night. And I will forego a lot of other things to have a good beer to look forward to at the end of the night. Yeah.
Fucking word.
Yeah, but I do. Yeah, I get some. I used to get more. Send me some beer.
Still accepting packages.
What was the first beer you posted?
Oh my God.
Do you remember?
Oh, I probably posted. I feel like there was a growler of an amber or something that I posted. That was like one of my very first ones. And also a homebrew. I think my very first homebrew was an amber. And so I think I was posting like that whole process. Yeah. I wish I could remember where it was from.
Do you remember your first beer?
I remember my first beer that I made.
Yeah. No, that you drank.
Oh, that I drank. Well, I mean, it was either like Old E or it was Mickey's.
Great answer.
Yeah. It was one or the other. It was beer that I was not able to select for myself, nor would I have even known what I was selecting, anyways. And I am sure it was very warm halfway through that 40, and the whole experience was not good. And that's when I was like, I don't like beer, and I thought that's all that there was. I think a lot of people growing up that like may have dabbled in some underage drinking and such. That's what you kind of get. You get the cheap beer, and there's a time and a place for that. Maybe not Mickey's or Old E now for me, but there's a time and a place for like cheaper beer.
Like the park at 11 p.m.
Yeah. Camping anytime. Yeah. There's plenty of times for it, but.
But
I thought I didn't like it. But when I when I was able to choose my first beer for myself when I was 21 and went to a bar, it was either Alaskan Amber or Fat Tire that changed my mind about beer. It was also. It was a while. I mean,
So it was going to be bedtime and 40.
It was
40s and bedtime.
I've evolved. Well, that could be a great account, honestly. But yeah, I'll leave that to someone else.
Just your exact format, every single reel you make, but just a huge 40.
Yeah. And then the reveal out of the bag.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, if it was good beer, I don't think I could drink 40 ounces of it anymore. Like if it was a beer that I really wanted to drink and was quality, I don't need 40 ounces.
It is kind of funny how that changes.
Yeah.
Like, I could drink 40 ounces of a beer that, like, I fucking hate.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do it.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
a world-class beer, unless it's, I don't know, maybe like Freem Pills, I could drink 40 ounces of that.
That is, Freem Pills is my guilty pleasure. I have that in the fridge all the time. That's my grocery store pick. I get that every grocery order, and then I can stretch out my bottle shop order.
Rachel, have you seen Matt chug a 40?
I have not.
I've never done that.
Yeah, you have.
Oh, fuck, I have.
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
So apparently you saw the one time.
I did.
Oh, man.
Dang.
I chugged a Twisted Tea.
Oh my God. A 40 ounce they make 40 ounce twisted
No,
tea?
it was like I think it was a 32. Or no.
It was ginormous.
It was like a 32 ounce Twisted Tea.
I like how sound producer
That's
Doug
crazy.
called bullshit
I
immediately.
know.
The fuck
Doug
it is
so
in 40
quickly
ounce
was like,
packaging.
I know
Like,
for a
no.
fact they don't make 40s of Twisted Tea.
Yeah,
If they did, I would
right.
know. No, right after the Twisted TKO video came out, I posted a picture on my work Instagram of like I did like a nice beer picture, but with a Twisted Tea like
Oh my
32 ounce
God.
can, and it was right before New Year's, and I said something dumb like, whatever your goals are this year, make sure you come out swinging or something. And then I was like, I'm not just gonna drink this, but I'm a part of like one of the local chugger groups.
Oh, yeah.
And I hadn't posted in like forever, and I was
You're
just like, fuck it, I'm gonna drink this whole Twisted Tea.
Perfect.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
Not a 40, but it might as well have been.
Well, I'm impressed either way. And I have never had a twisted tea before.
I'm also virginal.
Yeah.
Yay!
All the homebrewers like,
on
yeah,
my
I've had
list.
Twisted Tea.
Yeah.
Duh.
Short list of things I'm proud of in my life.
I know. Yeah, there's only a few. There's only a few.
7.
There's
I got
plenty of other
7.
debaucherous things. Yeah. Yes.
Would you be a Twisted Tea influencer?
Having never tried it, I don't think no. But
If the price is
if
right,
it was great, whoa! If it's a real good price,
Can we just talk shit about Twisted Tea for the rest of the podcast?
Yeah.
This is my favorite topic.
that's a lot of zeros.
It depends on the zeros. It does.
That's their
Think of
untapped
how
score.
much Freem Pilsner I could buy with this. Back the fucking
You're like,
cooler
okay.
truck up to the.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. You're like, okay, this is.
Do you consider yourself an influencer?
I feel like it's such an awkward. Yes, is the short answer.
Okay.
Yes,
In like the conventional sense, probably.
I guess so. It feels that feels awkward. I don't think that I call myself an influencer. I don't know. That's a weird.
You have a lot
That's
of
a good
followers.
question.
Yeah.
And it's valid, and I have created influencer programs with the breweries that I was at, and so like I would, if I was looking for people, then I would have considered myself, subjectively, I'd be like, yeah, that's an influencer. Yeah.
So you did social at Seven Seas and Silver City.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. I got my kickoff. Well, I started at Seven Seas serving.
Yeah.
Right.
And then when the social media person left there, then I said, hey, I got
do this thing.
I have a decent following already. They knew and were aware of things, and I was like, I would love to like slip into that role. And so I did both part time for a few years,
And that was your first time doing it like professionally for
Yeah.
a company.
Yeah.
What do you bring from like your personal experience, like being a successful, social media personality in the beer world to a professional setting where you're like, okay, I need to make this brewery as popular as I am personally?
Sure. I think that it was a perfect way for me to learn the ins and outs, and I had switched over my personal account to be like a business account, so I could review analytics and stuff. And I was noticing trends in when I would get more boosts on posts, and things would I'd get way more likes on certain things, and so I kind of tweaked the way that I was posting to maximize that. And so I was already kind of implementing those things just naturally, just seeing the rhythms. And then obviously Instagram and all social media just likes to throw a wrench and change everything up constantly. So I kind of enjoyed that though, like the pivoting and okay, well, what do I need to do now to engage more? And
as in having to format new kinds of content.
Sure, yeah, just kind of tweaking the way that I post things. And then obviously when Reels came out, then it was okay, well, here's a push to get to a whole different audience. And so I think that you kind of learn things in real time doing your own account, and there's no pressure because it's your own account.
Sure.
It's fine if a post doesn't succeed, then nobody's coming after you. It's fine. It's more for fun and for engagement. But I think that I gained some great skills.
And it's a creator account.
And yeah, so that one's a creator account.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So then when I was doing it, I noticed that, and I even noticed with my own viewing, it made me think about how I view things and when you're scrolling through and what it is that makes me stop. And then I tried to apply that. And so when there are people in posts and it's more engaging and there's a personal level, then I feel like I personally stop and look at that post more. But also those are the posts that I get more engagement on.
So when you're actually
when I'm in front of the camera,
when your face is on camera.
Even if there's a hand, there's some type of personal element that's involved there. I think that we as people respond to that in a different way than just a product being there.
Yep.
And so I have very much tried to implement that with my own account, with Sulphur Cities and Seven Seas. I think that seeing something behind the brand and having that personal connection.
Yeah, putting a face to your brand.
Yeah, that makes a huge difference.
For sure.
Yeah.
How do you keep up with trends?
I am addicted to social media personally. I'm personally
and
addicted.
Here's how I monetize it.
Yeah.
I am gonna be on there anyway, and I spend a lot of time on my account. I keep on top of it, and any comment I'm gonna comment on. Most DMs. I used to be a lot better at DMs. I used to be on top of every single DM, and I would respond to every single thing. But sometimes it's just sometimes that's not possible.
Sure.
But yeah, I think when you're on there constantly and you are kind of plugged into the whole thing and consuming it all, you see all of the trends come up constantly. And it makes you kind of think how could I adapt this for my own kind of brand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is kind of funny to listen to you talk about how you consume social media because it is pretty similar to how I consume beer.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm doing both at the same time.
Oh, I'm going to try this on the next
jug.
Yes, exactly. I'm going to try this on my next beer. I'm going to tell a brewery that I tried this. Fuck.
Yeah.
Do you use a planner?
I don't use a planner. I mean, for accounts that I was managing, yes. For myself, no. Generally, I know I'm going to have my beer at the end of the night, and so I am heavily on stories. But I have been trying to get back into posting more regularly on my account for Reels and for posts. I think that for a while I kind of got away from posts completely, and I kind of missed that, the kind of more detailed photography side and capturing just a pretty moment instead of having a full reel. But yeah, I do it in the moment when I'm excited about something.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are you using your phone or a camera?
For my account, it's almost exclusively my phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you started your own social media business, right?
I did start my own
What's it
social
called?
media business. It's called Social Karma Collective. And so it's just kind of kicking off and launching now. I am on Instagram. I have a website that's coming soon, in the next couple weeks. It should be.
What's the website about?
The website will have pricing and just basically portfolio.
Gotcha.
And
so a business
just more,
site.
Yep.
You're not going to have a blog on it? Anything like that?
I don't know. I don't know. That's not in the works now. but that could be in the works.
What's
Thanks.
the premise of the business?
It is social media management and consulting.
Nice.
And I would love to specialize in beer things because that's what I love the most.
Totally.
But I'm absolutely happy to branch out a little bit.
Yeah. That's awesome. And I have the feeling it'll be a resource that people, you'll probably get some attention for.
I hope so. Yeah, I would love to see especially our local breweries succeed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, I talk about a lot, not necessarily on here, but I'm glad I can with you today. But so, I went to CBC a few years ago, and by far the most highly attended talks that they did were 2 social media classes, basically.
Awesome.
Because I think a lot of breweries feel lost when it comes to, how do I do this and how do I do this successfully? Mm-hmm. And I always kind of I feel like the sales rep sort of job is starting to transition quite a bit, and it will probably end up being not a full-time drive around boots on the ground salesperson type thing. I have the feeling that it will be much more you run our social media and public engagement and also do sales.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a natural, logical sort of transition.
Yeah, hand in hand.
Yeah, and they're really they're much more similar than somebody selling beer and also delivering the beer.
Yeah.
Your time is probably better spent selling it on the internet and also selling it in person. Mm-hmm. And that was made clear to me when I saw the attendance of these 2 classes at CBC. There was hundreds of people. So yeah, I don't know. I imagine that people are still kind of trying to figure out how social media works best for a brewery. What do you feel like breweries are kind of missing right now that you can see personally?
Yeah, I think that there's a couple things. I think that I see breweries kind of just or beer related businesses kind of just throwing out posts, almost like afterthought. It's sort of you can tell that there wasn't anything planned. Maybe it's at 9:00 at night. It's there's weird timing involved, and there's no real context to the post at all. Mm-hmm. And maybe they just haven't posted in a week or 2, and they're let's just get something up real quick. Mm-hmm. So that's one thing. I think that just a tiny bit of planning can make a huge difference with that. I also feel and this is a personal pet peeve, but it's also I think just a common mistake. I think that so many places post their event flyers repeatedly, and sometimes that's you scroll through and it's every other post.
And it's 10,000 words.
It's so much. It's bombarding to look at. It doesn't really tell you anything about the personality of the establishment, besides that they have a lot of events. But on top of that, so that's my pet peeve side of that. But the real algorithm side is that the algorithm doesn't deem those posts as anything that's super exciting to push out. It buries those because it sees that it's just full of words, and it thinks it's an ad, and it's it buries them, and it doesn't get them into the right eyes.
Yeah.
And so to keep those on stories and then to put them in your highlights is so much better. Or take a photo of the space that you're going to hold the event at, or something else about the event that's photo related, and then put the information at the bottom, and then say more info in store. Any of those things, I think keeps a cleaner profile and gets the information to more people. Really.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Does Instagram like beer?
Instagram does not like beer.
No, they don't.
Instagram, especially now that they've really partnered with Meta. Yeah, I have none of anything that you post where you're drinking a beer as a brewery. Your post will get buried. Mm-hmm. You can show the beer. You can't show anyone consuming it. It's a weird line. All of my reels and everything, they used to do really well, and now they're buried. Yeah. Even to my own followers, they just don't see them. Yeah,
dang.
That's a thing.
Yeah, it is very much a thing.
And they're shadow banning breweries, and
that's
so crazy.
It's really frustrating. And there's not a whole lot of ways around. I mean, who doesn't want to show you enjoying your beverage?
Right.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what they will end up doing with that, or if that will ever get better. I think that's definitely extreme.
I think it's why a lot of breweries and restaurants and such are posting more food than beer now these days, hoping to get the likes and the followings, because
work your way around
exactly.
a bit.
This is across the board, right? It's not it's okay to have a glass of wine.
No, I believe it's alcoholic beverages.
Yeah.
I believe that's exactly how it's coded as anything where you
Twisted
are consuming.
tea.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Especially twisted tea.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're consuming any kind of alcoholic beverage or marijuana or things like that, then they will bury it.
Damn.
Yeah, I know.
This is just some lobby push.
It's a sad, sad world.
Yeah.
Is this a byproduct of trying to keep our underage youth safe from the evils of alcohol? Is that what it is?
I don't know. Is it? Maybe.
I don't know, but the way you're saying it makes it sound like they're villains for that, and I feel like we're in a weird tone now.
Yeah. There goes our Instagram.
I know. It probably is. There's way more like under 21 consumers of Instagram, on Instagram than over 21, I would imagine. So at some point they have to be like, well,
Does this go down to like personal levels too?
Well, yeah. I mean, I have a personal account. I mean, it's
Right. So
Yeah.
like,
and 100%. Yeah, I will see when I look at my analytics on a reel, it'll say this cannot be recommended because, and
Yep.
then it'll have
Yeah.
the little thing on
Yep.
it.
you're consuming a delicious beer.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, oh,
Well, crap.
right?
That's my whole
Damn it.
thing. It's my whole thing.
It's my whole thing.
We're going to take a super quick break, but we will be right back.
Hello. This is Eric Hanberg of Channel 253 here with sound producer Doug.
Hi.
Hi, we are here to tell you about membership to Channel 253, and we're talking really fast because we know you want to get back to the podcast.
That's exactly right. You get to be on the members Slack channel, which is really banging, and you get to listen to the members-only podcast, Off the Record, hosted by me.
That's right. It's just $4 a month or $40 a year. Channel253.com/membership. Thank you for listening. I hope you'll consider joining. Please check it out.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Real quick shout out to our wonderful producer, Doug, who makes us sound awesome every week. And please do go check out Channel 253, fantastic local network of podcasts that helps you stay connected to Tacoma. And it's amazing. Thanks as always, Doug.
Yeah.
thank you, Doug.
Thanks, Doug. Thank you, Doug. And he can do it while drinking barley wine, too. It's amazing. Yeah.
I feel like Doug needs to be on mic every single week, honestly. Sean, what are we drinking, man? We have new beer.
This is the E9 2022 CQ barley wine. I love the self cheers.
I love this barley wine. Cheers.
You couldn't let him have it, huh?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
What do you call it when Ron high fives a friend? Clapping. I'm kidding. If anybody ever talks to Ron the way that I do, I'll fight you.
That's right. That's right.
what do you talk about? What's the STD that I gave Ron?
I don't know.
Because it's been more than
Ron was
one
in the
time,
bathroom
so
for a long time during
we
that
can
break.
pluralize it.
Sitting right next to you, Matt.
Piss and lava.
There's so
Anyway.
much talk about intimate love with Ron.
Yeah.
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 you seen him?
There is.
Yeah, everybody loves you. You're
I'm a
loved.
lover, not a fighter.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
You are.
Unless it's one of those nights.
Yeah.
Well,
Then I'm going to fight.
But it's no, like it's a special night, and I really
It's
gotta like
reserved
get
for-
him. Yeah, like
Yeah.
The big stuff.
Speaking of that, you
Yeah,
just
big
knocked a
stuff.
pinball table over.
love a
We all got that fire in us a
Yeah,
little
love the
bit.
fire, like-
Yeah.
You love the fire.
I love the fire.
Yep.
All the beers and fire
In your backyard.
It makes it better. Backyard
Yeah.
and camping. I've done a ton of it. Probably more camping than ever this summer. But
Those are my favorite
good for
posts of
you.
yours. Like,
Yeah.
you find the most beautiful places
better.
Yeah.
to go drink a beer.
And your morning coffee, too.
Morning. I am. Yeah. I am upset. Morning coffee, camping, and beers by the fire at home or anywhere else. Those are my things. Yeah, for sure.
I don't know, having a social media presence and then like a huge chunk of that just being like, I'm out in nature away from everything. I don't even have service. Like, how am I posting this?
Which is great.
I love
think
that. It's a
that's
cool
nice, like,
dichotomy.
balance. I take like a bazillion photos though because I just enjoy that. I was
That's
at an
legit.
Airbnb with my kid last night and I was like just taking a bunch of photos and then
Because
doing,
it was
like,
in a bus.
beer things and it was in a school bus. And so I was like, ooh, this is a cool like photo opportunity for cool content and a different space. Yeah, it's a school bus. It's a
Airbnb bus.
It's an Airbnb bus. I love that.
That's super cool.
Yeah. It's become much more about like all of my life and a little less about just all beer specifically. But yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's part of the authentic
person.
connection.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a person. I do person things.
Yeah. I do.
Seems safe based on the previous conversation about the, filtering out anything to do with alcohol consumption.
That's true.
Which
you kind of just have
I'm
to
already
like
like plotting like, what's the filter you take on the picture and like you type the name of the beer and then just like a glass of Cheerios or something.
You can AI
Celery
it.
slices and peanut butter. You're like, oh, it's so healthy and nutritious. Like, it's a glass of it.
You could
THP
fill
joke in
whatever
there
the
somewhere.
beer tasting notes are. Then you fill that glass. You AI that
Right.
those contents into the
Right.
glass.
So good.
That is.
Yeah.
I just thought of it. This is why hire me.
Yep. Oh god, yeah, that's so badass. Get that freaking. I mean, what would the Bud Light freaking filler be like?
Oh yeah. Just corn. I don't know.
I mean, like corn rice.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah.
Corn rice.
Shredded green apple.
Tears.
It has a very dry
Tears?
mouthfeel. Tears. Yeah.
Brewers.
I don't know, man. A glass of tears just looks like water. Like
Yeah, that's
I
true.
feel like it goes A.
It's the new Bud Light seltzer.
you need the
Right.
Oh god.
Nice.
Oh,
boy.
man.
Nice job, Matt.
Speaking of beers and internet,
Nice segue.
I know, right? I'm working on my segues.
Good one.
Speaking of barley wine and kittens. What? Where's
Colson
this
just
going?
made this new.
Nice.
I made it
was
work.
nice.
I made it work.
Very nice.
Oh, we'll shut up.
I like looked up funny internet beer things just because I was like, oh, like let's go online and just see like the funny shit that people say about
Because
beer.
Tacoma Beer Week is over.
Because Tacoma Beer Week is over, and I have nothing else to do. And I said in that whole video that they released about me that I spend a lot of my free time doing beer stuff. So I just had to keep that going. Which, by the way, thanks to everybody who came out to Tacoma Beer Week events.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah,
That was a great smattering. Like I really hope people had a chance to go out and at least catch something somewhere.
I feel it was the best one ever. I really do.
It felt like that way. It felt that way to me too. And there was a bunch of people who I had just never seen before.
Yep. Nips are popping over here, so.
Felt that way. Yep. Still the afterglow of Tacoma Beer Week. Yeah.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
Yes, Matt?
Stay focused.
I'm trying to find some of my favorite fucking beer internet things. I saved them. Okay. This is just a dumb story, but I thought this was really funny. So this is a story. This guy was like, my neighbor gave me this old keg from a wedding that he said was 20 years ago.
Oh.
And he was like, it's been kept, it's 4 gallons out of a half barrel, so like mostly drank. And it's been kept in the back of a store that doesn't have AC in like Texas weather for 20 years.
My stomach.
And then he goes, I can't believe they didn't finish it. And I'm just like, fuck, really? But then he was like, I want to try, and like I'm following just to see if he actually tries it and like dies.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm awaiting the conclusion of that saga.
Is this Lone Star Shiner? I hope.
Holy shiner.
No, I'm serious. Like
I
was
fucking
like,
might be.
Yeah.
The timeline works.
Yeah.
I thought this was a good question though. So this one actually comes up a lot on like beer Reddit, but this dude every year does a fantasy football league and then is like, hey, I'm looking for suggestions of like horrible beer for the loser of our league to have to drink in front of us. Oh, God. Which I think is a good question and will get us in tons of trouble if we're honest
super
about
nice.
it.
Oh,
Yeah. Really nice question.
But my favorite,
Rainier
dang.
Ale?
Yeah, Green Death.
Yeah.
I've never heard of Rainier Ale.
Yes, you run a respectable.
I don't drink twisted tea, and I don't know about Rainier Ale.
Welcome to the Grit and Grain.
Rachel, we see where your bar is, and we're not talking about that. Whole new underworld.
I'm feeling good about myself. All right.
You should. You should. Yeah.
Number one answer on this there's 100 answers, but the number one answer is Sam Adams cherry wheat.
Oh, I've never had that either.
I can't remember the last time I had it.
Just a
But
teaspoonful.
it seems rude.
Yeah, is it like cough syrupy?
It kind of is.
Yeah, I'm not a cherry.
I like have had a lot of. We get beer sent to us all the time working at a distributor, and a small one that specializes in craft. And there's a bunch of people out there who just have unreal confidence and start a whole business.
There are so many.
They start a whole business and just have no fucking idea what they're doing. And then they send us beer and go, hey, we'd love to sell beer through you guys. And I'm just going to call one of them out very specifically. But there is a brewery called Warfield. And every single beer tasted like...
Burfield.
I don't give a fuck.
Like Burfield.
I don't care. I don't give a shit.
Good.
There's no way this place is still in a business, but every beer tasted like I was chewing on matchsticks.
Oh.
I swear to God. Every single one was just like super sulfitic. I don't know how you did it.
How
to
long
all
ago
of
are we
them.
talking?
This is like 3 years ago.
How did they not know?
I don't know. He was so sure that it was just like killer. And I was just like, oh man, there's no way.
Was burned by
Anyway,
chemical fire in your mouth.
that's what I would. That's the one. That's what I feel about my view. And like, so here's. I know. If anybody.
Oh.
Don't say that. Matchbox. Go on. Okay. You will be next week. That might be my pick, though. You guys don't have to be as specific as I am. But if you want to, what beer would you suggest?
Oh, no. I don't know if I have the... Okay.
Ron, you have to do it, too.
Oh, my gosh.
This is one of those is like, man, they can't still be open. But shit, if they are. Westport Brewing.
Oh, yeah, the pirate.
Yeah, so we're familiar here.
The one that burnt down or the pirate one?
Lots of questions. I'm just going to go ahead and...
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
So this is back in the when John was the ship's captain, and it was very much an older husband and wife team. And they came in, and John was great because that was the time when like he was really trying to foster the craft beer community. So he would always give people a chance, right? Like completely different job that he did compared to what I do. More like a keeper of the gate. You know, but he was really trying to grow and like give the little guys a chance because kind of struggling through some of those shitty from the garage days. Like people made it.
Yep.
You know, they still here. I don't know, but
Yeah.
so they came in and he was generally like I'll put your IPA on draft and we'll see how that goes. That was always the wheelhouse. But he gave these kids a brewer's night. And their tap handles were like glass, like almost like cobalt. Freaking, I can show them to you when
Oh man,
we're done with
of course you still have them.
The tap handles are beautiful. It was exactly the matchstick and Band-Aid. And then in one of those two was like, I don't know, they had tried to do some bourbon barrel aged, like we'll take some spirals in a porter. And so they're like, yeah, we made a sour porter. And it's like, how many times have we played this game? It's like, it's like,
There's only one
okay,
Vivid.
so you're not the brewery and you're not Cascade.
No.
So what you
doing,
did
man?
was fuck up.
Yeah.
But you
You're
can't
trying
afford
to
this.
pedal-
You can do it right.
You're fucking garbage on me.
Yeah.
You know, and that was, it was so fucking rough. And they were, it was the plastic freaking, like, they had the plastic fermenters, which like Schooner Exact like grew out of the plastic fermenters. Like
Yep.
that was the base. And they did it right. And they
Yep.
were clean, fucking clean, meticulously clean, and you can make good beer.
Yeah.
It's just really hard.
Yeah.
These kids, and they weren't kids, but it was atrocious. But back to that mindset of like, this is the most badass shit that anyone's ever put in
Look
their
how
mouth.
cool
That
we
is
are.
my problem.
Yeah.
So this is
You were
exactly
so
my
lucky,
problem.
Tacoma,
Yeah.
Yeah.
to be graced with our.
That is the only reason why I was willing to even say mine out by name, because like we have this conversation all the time with new breweries, and we try to be as honest as we can. Like, I'm an experienced beer judge. We have a couple of people in our staff who have been doing this for like 15 plus years.
Yeah.
Like, if we tell you that we think your beer has an issue and can be really specific about it, and then your response is like, nah, you guys don't know what the fuck you're talking about. There's no way. Like, our tap room is full every night of the week. What are you talking about? I'm like, you know what? Fuck you publicly.
Yeah. Yeah. That is fair. That is fair.
Yeah, man. Like, I'm not even rude about it. I have a lot of practice in being like very gently, no, thank you. Your stuff
Yes.
sucks. But yeah, people just want to be like, no, this shit's badass, and you have no idea what you're saying.
Yeah.
Mine. Okay, I'm gonna do one more because this just ended up being really funny. I like put. Do you have an answer, Ron?
No, I can't. I mean, there's red flags, but I can't.
Yeah, I don't think Ron was going to answer.
Yeah.
On behalf of my client,
It's okay.
we'd like to plead the fifth.
It actually kind of ties into the next one. So I was just like, oh, like we're messing around on Beer Internet, so I'm just gonna post like a question and just see what happens. So I posted a question on like our beer on Reddit just to see like if I got funny answers, and it fucking exploded, and like 150,000 people are like on this thread right now. But I was just like, hey, what are red flags like for you when you go to a new brewery? If you visit a brewery, what are the things that you see where you're just like, oh, there's no way this place is going to last? There's something like 1,000 answers now. But here are some of my favorites.
Oh boy. Okay.
So somebody goes, this is just, the response to this is my favorite, but somebody goes, if it looks like a sports bar, which to me isn't like a, I don't know. Yeah, it's like fine. If it looks like a Buffalo Wild Wings or whatever, maybe that's like a thing. But the response to this from a brewer was like, I was a head brewer in a brewery like that, and I walked out after 3 weeks. David and Robert, if you're seeing this, fuck you.
Oh my God. That's great.
Just
the best
just the
response.
dirty laundry.
No. Done.
Were they pouring the
Aaron.
beer in plastic cups?
Maybe. I don't know. Was that another one?
Yeah.
Was pouring beer in plastic cups?
Yeah.
I know you saw some that I
did.
don't think I saw.
Full ashtrays in the brew house. was
Full
the one.
ashtrays in the brew house.
Frosted glassware.
No.
Sean's like, wait a minute.
Wait a fucking
Wait a
second.
minute.
I mean, having just watched Bottle Conditioned on the Tuesday
Okay,
prior to this,
that's fair.
I found my European soulmate, like chain smoking everywhere, cracking bottles with
Totally
lighters.
fair.
I'm like, hey,
Soulmate.
Yeah.
hey, that's life for some people.
Right.
Somebody mentioned it on the.
You
on
can
the
still
thread.
keep it clean
Yeah.
Yeah.
and have a full ashtray.
But frosted glasses,
Frosted-
100%. A
Yeah.
brewery
Kinda
that
ties
opens
into-
up with frosted glasses,
That's pretty rough.
that's a big red flag. Yeah.
Somebody said seating for 200, but parking for 20.
Yeah.
Motivational posters
Preach, man.
Like in English class.
in the brew house. Yeah. Yeah, ambition.
Hang in there. Like the little cat on the
ironically, it's
band.
funny.
That's my favorite. I love that one.
I feel like I only see that at places that have high turnover rates.
Yeah. Yeah, you can hang in with the kitten. Or as the chimpanzee.
Right?
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I forgot about the
Yeah.
chimpanzee.
Yeah.
This wasn't a favorite. This is actually one that I like. So somebody said if a brewery is charging as much for their beer as they pay for it at other places. And their whole logic is like, when I come to visit your brewery, I'm driving past other places and it's inconvenient for me. And if you're not giving me like a small price break on it, then fuck you. And
No, that's fair.
no,
Whoa,
it's not. To that
is a bit
person, I just want you to know
aggressive.
that like you're bad. You're a bad person.
Yeah.
Well,
That's a bad person.
I wouldn't say bad. Like, I understand that line of logic. I do.
Really?
Like, I do.
Really?
No, I wouldn't like. I mean,
You wouldn't.
okay, like maybe cut off an ear, but we're not talking like bad person. Like this isn't.
I feel
Like
like
there's a lot of. I don't know. I don't really understand the industry logic about that, right?
Okay.
It just seems like it's just a regular consumer thought, and that's okay.
That's
Because
fair.
we do sell beer to
An
a lot of regular
uneducated-
consumers
That's
that
fair.
don't
Thought.
know what the fuck
That's
is
fair.
behind the curtain.
But
That's not a
I'm saying-
fatal error on their part.
Right,
That's a yeah.
They're like,
Well, it'd be funnier if they were just a bad person.
It would be.
But I guess that's
and
fair.
you know
There's
what?
a bunch of people.
What the fuck am I doing sticking up for anybody? That is not my shtick here. That is
Sean taking the moral high ground on
I will
anything.
get the fuck back in my lane.
That's a fuck-up story.
My bad.
That's fair. Maybe they just don't know. But if you go to someplace directly to buy their stuff, then the idea is that you're supporting them extra. Like,
Yeah.
that's the idea.
Yeah.
They shouldn't give you a discount because you're inconveniencing yourself, you weirdo.
Yeah, they should have some exclusive things that you can only get there.
That's kind of
What
that's like a
makes
fair
the
point.
point of being there specifically.
Yeah, that might be a
Yep.
fair point. Yeah, fuck.
Agreed.
Time for fuck up
Agreed.
stories.
Agree.
I just
In agreement.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have one more social question. What's your thoughts on Threads? Will it ever?
What?
Will it ever take over Twitter?
I don't know if it'll take over. I don't know
'Cause
if
they're
anything
different.
that is that new can take over something that's been around for so long. Twitter's a weird.
but they're definitely running with the Facebook.
Yeah, but also, I mean. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think stuff like that with newer social media platforms, I think it's a 50-50, whether it's going to fail or succeed or eclipse anything that's been done before. I think that there's plenty of people that want to go away from Twitter, and it's been a really weird atmosphere over there.
Completely.
Over there. But I don't know. I mean, it's still so new. I don't know I don't have complete thoughts on Threads yet, but I am digging around and investigating and watching it to see
Me too.
where it's going to go. Yeah. I also never personally got super into Twitter.
Man, me
So
neither.
I'm like,
And
I feel
I'm so
like
thankful.
I was in
I always
that
liked
era,
it for the
but it's...
news. I always liked it for the news aspect.
Yeah, okay,
You know,
yeah. I just am so much more visual, and you have your news background. Like it makes I think that makes more sense.
Yeah.
I want photos and so that's why when Instagram launched and I had been like on Facebook, I was like, ooh,
Right.
Here's a thing for me.
this is like my space. And then, but now it's so much like TikTok. Anyways,
Yeah.
that was a long answer a roundabout way.
What's your advice for someone to get into the social media business? What would you recommend them to do? I mean, is there a step-by-step or?
I think being authentic. I think that I will say things as far as having a personal account or a business account. Think about what makes you stand out and lean into your differences. And it's great to do trends, but if you're gonna do the trends and make them original to your own, story.
Right. Sometimes the trends are out there, but it's not
Sometimes they
how
don't.
your business is, your theme or motif.
Yeah.
And you do it, it kind of...
And it flops sometimes.
Absolutely.
But also somebody has to come up with those trends. One person is is responsible for each of those individual trends. And so I feel like it's okay to step out and do something different. And maybe that ends up being its own trend too. There's a sweet spot in trying out some trends for yourself, doing your own thing. But most of all, just being authentic and doing it because you love it, because then it doesn't feel like it's a chore and you can continue to do it over and over and over again.
Right. If you're struggling to come up with an idea, maybe not do it.
Yeah, then maybe that's not the right one for you and move on.
Maybe just hire you.
Maybe just hire me and I will come up with ideas that are specific to your business. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Got you. I got you.
Yeah.
We might have time for a quick fuck up story.
Have you posted something that backfired?
I haven't though.
I would
I
never.
am so no. I just I mean, there's been a lot of things in social media.
Did you post a Westport beer?
I did not. I didn't do that. I have a hard rule of not posting about beers that I don't like.
Word.
That I don't post.
Me too.
Yeah,
I agree.
I don't need that. We see plenty of beers on. If I'm posting the beer, then it's because I personally like that beer. I have had beer mail that I've received. This is not this is the opposite of a fuck up story, I guess, maybe. But
no, it's worse.
I have received beer that I really did not like, and I have had to message the place and say, I don't feel comfortable posting about your beer, and I'm sorry that you spent the amount to send that to me, but I don't feel comfortable. There's been like hangover things, different.
What
like,
are the responses that you get to that message? Because I feel like
honestly, nobody has been rude. I think at that point they were like, I'm not gonna get anything out of this person anyway. They've been like, you know,
okay, thanks.
Thank you for your feedback, or left on red or whatever. And I'm not trying to like badmouth anyone. Great breweries can put out something that's not great. Great breweries can put out something that's infected. Just all kinds. Yeah, there's things, and then there's also breweries that's kind of all that they do. And some breweries, that's all.
They specialize.
That's a red flag.
They specialize.
They specialize in really bad beer. I just want people to feel like if they're following me and they're watching what I'm drinking, I do believe in what I'm drinking. Mm-hmm. And there are way less breweries that I am like even willing to get beer from, like that I've just had too many beers that I've like poured out. And even if there's nothing wrong with the beer, but it's just not that flavorful, or it's under attenuated, or it's just any of the, I'm like, I don't want to waste it. I'm not a calorie counter, but I don't want to waste the calories on something that I don't want to drink.
It's gotta be worth it.
Yeah.
I'm going to pour it out, and I'm going to go get myself a different beer that I'm going to enjoy. Yeah, I don't. So that can cost money. Obvious, it does cost money pouring. I have poured out like 3 beers in a row, and that's like, $15 to $20 worth of beer in one night, because I'm like, I don't want to drink that, and that isn't what I was expecting. And I just want to have quality beer that I'm consuming, but also that people are seeing me.
I was just thinking about that, filling the glass, not drinking filter. And just that photo of like pouring something out, it's just a bunch of Band-Aids falling.
It's like popcorn, Band-Aids.
Popcorn and Band-Aids. Some of them bloody. Yeah, let's just be honest.
See it on beers and bedtime.
Now I might want to make that happen.
Yeah, that's why
I'm going to challenge myself. I'm going to see if I can make that happen. I'll hide the label, or it'll just be a glass.
Want to thank this brewery for sending me a beer this week.
Not telling you the brewery, but
yeah. Not good.
All right, Grit and Grainers. Email us at cheers@gritandgrainpodcast.com with your comments, opinions, and the best way to reheat waffles, because selecting the perfect Instagram filter took too long. Should we eat them cold to punish ourselves? I don't know. We read and drink everything we receive, and we try to respond as quickly as we can. If not online, then on air. You can subscribe to Grit and Grain on Amazon, Apple Music, Spotify, Google Play, iHeartRadio, and Stitcher. And please leave us a review. Also, check us out on Channel 253. Woo! And gritandgrainpodcast.com. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram, not Twitter, for episode notes, beer news, and post-it notes positioned on your body, reminding you to stay in touch with the various parts and processes and erotic urges, and maybe a few notes stuck firmly on your face, reminding yourself, never forget the said mind-bod connection. It's, if not necessary, guaranteed. You sort of have to focus in and drill down and get in there and hop on that rumbly Harley of your soul and regularly cruise the various transmigratory holistic pathways as the wind whips your karma and the sun warms your tattoos and the engine's throb vibrates your yes and the wicked grin spreads across your face as you listen to the Grit and Grain podcast. If this podcast is not what you expected, please alter your expectations. Biblical scholars define sloth as a sinful desire to erase. We define it as a long monkey. No such thing as a bad time to visit Tacoma. No such thing as too much barley wine. Tune in next Friday for more sweet chatter. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh my God.
Wrong.
Thanks again for tuning in. Don't forget to follow us at Grit and Grain Podcast wherever you get your social media, and catch new episodes every Friday. Cheers.
Channel 253 is a member-supported podcast network. I'm producer Doug Mackey, and I'm asking you to become a member and show your support. Go to channel253.com/membership to join. Thank you. Grit and Grain is part of the Channel 253 podcast network. Check out our other shows: Nerd Farmer, Interchangeable White Ladies, Move to Tacoma, Crossing Division, Citizen Tacoma, What Say You, We Are Tacoma, Flounders B Team, and Taco Man.
This is Channel 253.
Get up.